Oh boy. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Sunday live stream. Today I wanted to just let everyone know that I'm trying to be a little bit more socially active on a couple of different platforms. The first one is Twitter, and I'm actually posting a lot of kind of Xcode tips and how to be a little bit more productive in terms of getting your programming work done. So a lot of new things that I'm trying to post on my Twitter account is going to look something like this. Let me switch over to the Twitter browser page. And basically, I'm posting a lot of more interesting things that I typically, I won't be able to show during those videos a whole lot. But I'll try to go over some of those tips every now and then as well. So the first thing that I wanted to show you today is the post that I posted this morning about fixing syntax highlighting when you kind of lose it during your Xcode programming phases. And basically what happens is you will start to lose your highlighting whenever you change your file names. For example, if you refactor your file to a different class name, sometimes they'll rename the file name as well. Or if you move your files from one section of your project to another folder, it actually redirects and it moves that file into a subdirectory within your project from what I understand in the latest Xcode 9. So whenever that happens, whenever there's a file change, that particular file will lose the syntax highlighting. So basically, in order to fix that, you would just close it. And once you close that file, you would have to reopen it, and then it reintroduces the syntax highlighting from the Xcode side of things. So those are a couple of tips that I am slowly putting out on my Twitter account. So if you want to start to follow me on social media and get notified whenever I post some of these things, you are definitely welcome to do that. And the second thing that I wanted to remind you guys is that I also have an Instagram account. Currently, it's at a very lowly 478 followers. I'm trying to raise that number to maybe 1,000 within the next couple of weeks. And hopefully with the support of everyone on this channel, I'll be able to bump up this number by a couple of hundred. And there's a lot of other things that I'm trying to post on Instagram as well. So sometimes I'll post some of the same things on my kind of a Twitter account as well. But seeing as Instagram is more of a, kind of a sharing your own life type of social platform, there's a lot of interesting tidbits of what's going on in my life that, for example, I'm trying to move into a new recording location, so an actual office in which I can program and film videos. Something that's not really happening all that well right now is me trying to record from this spot. So let me change back to this. So you see the room here and the lighting, the cameras in front right there. This is actually my bedroom. And trying to record it here is not the most optimal place to get things done. In terms of productivity, I am kind of not at 100% in regards to getting the most work I can out of the 24-hour day. What I'm finding is I'm actually doing just about 4 to 5 hours of work daily. So me moving to a totally different location, which is gonna look like something on this third photo on the right side. So it's a totally new office. And where's my browser at? So let me jump back over here. And so this is it's actually a really nice office, and I'm trying to get in there as quickly as possible. And so starting next month, I'm gonna move from this shooting location, which is my bedroom inside of my apartment, and I'll have a much better setup going in just a couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's gonna definitely up the amount of videos and the amount of content that I can push out on this channel for everyone. And that's basically what I'm trying to do for the new year. And I think just changing location is going to be nice. And yeah, if you're interested in following my kind of latest events, Instagram is always there for you to kind of give me a shout out and leave a comment on any of those posts, and I'll do my best to answer your questions as well. I'm following a lot of other students on my channel, so I've noticed some students are posting a lot of interesting kind of aspects about their student life. That is, it's always kind of a refreshing perspective to see how students are getting through programming and approaching this subject from a 20-year-old point of view. Yeah, so I'm in my early 30s and trying to relate to someone that's a student 10 years ago. It's a little bit of a stretch for me, but I definitely remember how difficult it was, especially for me when I was in college. It was definitely a difficult time for me to get through all of these programming classes and trying to, also experience college life at the same time. Oh, so how's everyone doing today? Yeah, and I've also set up this kind of a little template for the live stream. Hopefully it makes it a little bit more visually appealing. And yeah, so I want to see how many people are in the live stream right now. Probably not too many people. We have 96 people watching, so that's pretty good. I will probably stick around for the next 10 minutes to catch up on some questions. I have a phone call to make at 11 o'clock. So that's gonna be my agenda for today. So let's see, into the chat room. Here we go. I'm trying to see where you guys are coming from today. And we have C, Objective C. Hello from Greece. Hello. Hello from San Francisco, California. C Sharp, Java, C Sharp. Oh, I think I actually didn't change the title of the stream, so that's the problem. I wonder if I could change the title live. Xcode tips on Twitter and Instagram. Change that. I believe the title changes automatically. So we have a lot of questions or comments about first programming languages. A lot of people actually start off with C and I think Java. In college, at least the community college that I went to, we started out with learning C, learning how to allocate memory, writing functions, how to structure your program so that it's easy to grade for the instructor. And that's what we did. And then we kind of went to, I think the next language I learned was Java after that. So yeah, that's good. Can you share one demo MVC project? Well, every project that I create is pretty much an MVC. There's a distinction between how a lot of people actually use MVC, and I wouldn't exactly stress over the MVC topic too much. As long as you're not creating a bloated view controller file, then MVC is a good a good template for what you want to follow. Yeah. Where's my coffee? So typically when I wake up every day in the morning, I have a double shot espresso Starbucks little can. It's kind of like a Red Bull type drink. And I mix it with a lot of water. And then I just drink that. I think I microwave it for like 2 minutes. And then that's my morning coffee. I don't really have the equipment to brew my own coffee. It's not that I can't afford it, but it's not really something that I am trying to set up. I think it's a little bit of work to grind your beans, clean the coffee maker. But maybe if someone eventually introduces me to a way to make coffee in an efficient way, then yeah, I'll start making my own coffee and brewing it. So I get a lot of these questions about mathematics and programming. How much do you need? What is the point of learning math if you're just writing code anyways? So I guess coming from someone that's studied computer science and also actually got my bachelor degrees in applied mathematics and industrial engineering. And so I did a lot of programming. I took a lot of math classes. I have to say that for someone like me, I learned things from a more of a pragmatic, practical approach. So anything that I can't really understand or anything I can't really relate to on a simple basic level, I totally just lose all interest in learning something. So learning about abstract concepts such as mathematics is hard for me. There's a lot of theory, and a lot of teachers don't really do a good job at explaining to you how this theory is going to relate to you in real life. So I feel like a lot of mathematics has that kind of background to it. And when you're in academia, you don't learn exactly why you're learning all this theory. And on the flip side, programming is much, much more different. You're really physically building things every day. And all the theory that you learn in CS, computer science, that mostly can be applied directly to what you're learning. And the CS program, they do a really, really good job at pacing the course so that they teach you one abstract concept, and then for the homework assignments and the projects, they kind of allow you to practice those theories and concepts and try to get you to implement these theory examples inside of your code. So yeah, that's kind of why I enjoy programming courses more than mathematics. Now, there's when I was going to UC Berkeley, there was a difference between pure mathematics, is kind of what they called it, and then this other discipline which is called applied mathematics. And I found the applied math classes a lot more interesting and engaging because they go through real examples. And so that's kind of my experience with math in UC Berkeley. And so for those of you that don't know where UC Berkeley is, it's across the Bay. You guys probably don't know what the Bay Area is, but in the Silicon Valley, there's a pretty well-known school called UC Berkeley. And it was a good school. So here is a storyboard question, I think, from Nick Supernova. Is that Supernova? Do you know why most university and online courses teach with storyboard? I know it might be easier to begin with, but then you would want to switch anyways. Yeah, so I guess I'll draw from the example of HTML. So you know how when you're like 15 or 16 and people teach you how to build web pages, right? They normally teach you from the perspective of, here is this WYSIWYG editor. This is what you see is what you get editor. And you drag in this label, this paragraph tag, these div things, and these button things, right? So you just drag it in there because you don't know the syntax to doing it yourself yet. So obviously it's easier to use this visual editor. Now the same principle kind of goes for iOS programming. Dragging in buttons, this table view thing, and dragging these delegate IB connection things. In theory, it's definitely easier. And then as you get more comfortable with how to perform the code behind, you typically would just migrate everything over to the code. Now, the difference here is that interface builder is actually pretty powerful. So if you rely, on it 80 to 90% of the time, you can get most of your work done. But then it's actually a lot slower because you have to do everything manually. And because we're programmers, right, we don't like, or if you're a good programmer, you're not going to like to do these things manually all the time. And so after about like 5 to 6 projects, you'll realize that all this dragging and dropping and clicking is actually really slow. If you're not that type of programmer, then I don't know. I know most people in the industry, most programmers are like, I really hate doing things with a visual editor, and you can just type things out infinitely faster. So that's kind of how the iOS trajectory looks like. You start off with things that are simple, and then as you get more and more comfortable, you become, more advanced, and you understand how to code better. So let me see what's going on my phone here, and hopefully I will see if I have some extra time to dedicate to you guys. Why are you so sexy? The way you make programming so sexy makes you such a sexy specimen. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Why are you not using your Yeti mic now? So the reason why I don't use my Blue Yeti mic, which is over there, is because the actual physical dimensions of that microphone, I feel like it's a little large. So let me kind of do a side-by-side comparison of these two mics, right? So this is a Rode mic, and this is the Blue Yeti mic, which is, I would say, twice the size. Yeah, twice the size seems like an accurate estimate. So it's a lot bigger, and it doesn't plug into an XLR connection, which, if you're into audio, the XLR is it's a cleaner connection. It doesn't exactly sound better. Well, maybe eventually, if you are good at tuning your audio, it sounds better. So that's that. Yeah, so it looks like I got a couple of more minutes left before I get out of here. Is it that cold inside of your house? Kind of. So there's two things about why I typically wear a lot of clothes inside. Because A, it is really cold. Two, I tend to get really sick when I am cold, and so I try to stay as warm as I can. All right, so that's going to be it for me today, because it is 11 o'clock and I do have to catch a phone call right now. So I will check in with you guys later. Consuming and loving the intermediate training course. Yeah, make sure to check out the courses, available links down below if you want to learn much more about Swift. So I'm going to leave you guys to your own devices right now. Bye guys.